Do you have
argument
any
against a
other...
God
Okay, hey, listen, if you're going to fucking bicker with me like a little 14-year-old, I'm too old for that. If you're going to conduct yourself as an adult from here on out, I'll hear you out. Now, do you have any other line of reasoning that God doesn't exist?
Yeah, there's no evidence. Unless
Okay. How does it logically and necessarily follow from your claim that God doesn't exist?
Well, because if God created the world,
No, that's a question. How does it logically... Do you know what logical and necessary entailment is?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how does it logically and necessarily follow from your claim that there's no evidence for God, therefore God does not exist? What's the logical entailment?
Because if there's no evidence for something, that makes it more likely it's not true.
No, sir. Telling me likelihoods without ultimate background information is fallacious. Now, you haven't given me a logical entailment. Notice I said logically and necessarily entailment. Trying to appeal to probabilities doesn't give you a logical and necessary entailment. So how does it logically and necessarily follow from your claim that there's no evidence for God, therefore God does not exist? What's the logical and necessary entailment?
I didn't say God doesn't exist. I just said I don't believe in any God.
You told me, okay, so what you're doing right now is you're doing what almost every atheist does. You're now baiting and switching. So now you're an agnostic? So now you're an agnostic?
Agnostic atheist, yeah.
No, that's a contradiction in terms.
How?
Because atheism is making a judgment about God's existence. Agnosticism claims not to make a judgment.
No, atheism is about belief, and agnostics
okay, yeah, you're okay. All right, listen, you're too young.
You know what the root word of Gnostic is?
Sir, listen to me carefully, okay? You don't know what you're talking about. Thomas Huxley, who invented the term agnostic, said an agnostic is somebody who claims neither to know nor to believe in a proposition without sufficient evidence, okay? So agnosticism entails not making a judgment, neither claiming to know or to believe, okay? Atheism is believing that God does not exist. It is not the position that you're merely without belief. That doesn't constitute the denial error. So what you're doing right now is what almost every atheist does. You're going from global atheism, which is the denial of God, to now atheism is, oh, I lack belief. You're redefining atheism as a mental state, merely being absent of positive belief in order to insulate yourself from defending. Didn't you start off asserting that God does not exist?
No, you asked me why do you not?
No, stop lying.
You said why?
Did you not start off telling me that God does not exist?
Yeah, you asked me why does God?
Okay, so now you're no longer maintaining that God doesn't exist?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you've changed your tune, haven't you?
Is that it? Can you address the argument then?
Okay, have a nice day. You refuse to think and act like an adult, you're gone. So what we had right there, he starts off with his God denialism. When he realizes that that is a logical and a philosophical dead end, he immediately changes his tune to, oh, I lack belief in God. Notice how they change their position? That's a bait and switch. No, I'm just confrontational with stupidity.
Hello.
Welcome, Michael. Are you an atheist, and how old are you?
I am not, and I'm 23.
What do you want to say, Michael?
Well, I'm not a Christian, and I mean, I want you to believe in my religion, to be completely honest.
Yeah, get to the point or I'm going to block your account.
Well, I just said the point. I want you to
what's your religion?
Or am I? Was it me and a couple people had a revelation?
Okay, goodbye. You're blocked. Bye. Welcome to my block list. See you later. Okay. So he wants to troll me and you instantly get blocked. Okay.